Are we about to go into an early bear market? Or is this just a last shakeout before we go to the moon? And also, are Polkadot and Kusama about to lift off into the stratosphere with the launch of the much anticipated Parachain auctions? Cue the intro. So as you just saw in the intro, the market has taken a bit of a beating, a bit of a sucker punch, hence the intro. But do not fear too much. It's not as bad as it looks. It's just a bit of a dig in the kidneys, so not too bad. But alas, the market has taken a beating, hence the intro has got to match the feeling of the market. So let's get into this video. So let's start talking about the main event of this video, and that is regarding Polkadot and Kusama. Kusama to start off with. And basically what has happened is Gavin Wood, the creator of Polkadot, has finally given a date as to when we can potentially expect the first Parachain auctions to commence and when it could potentially finish. And the date for that is he's proposed is June 15th. So let's go into the article and see what's actually going on, and then we're gonna head over to the charts. It's not gonna be a long video. This is the main thing that I want to talk about. I had to make a quick video about it. So according to a blog post posted on Tuesday, the first Parachain auction slot will open on June 15th at 2 p.m. Central European Summer Time. The tentative schedule, subject to the approval of the Kusama Council and other KSM stakeholders, will see the maiden Parachain auctions concluded by June 17th, with the bidding period continuing until June 22nd. If the Kusama Council approves the schedule, then the first ever Parachain slot auction winner could emerge by 11 a.m. on June 22nd. The second Parachain slot auction will then commence an hour later, with subsequent slot auctions slated at 1 week intervals, according to Wood's post. So the first could end by June 22nd, and then an hour later, second Parachain slot auction could commence. After the first 5 weekly auctions, so once per week, if you didn't understand what that was already, Wood recommended a pause to evaluate the performance of the networks before network before commencing another batch of 5 Parachain slot auctions based on the aforementioned schedule. And these auctions will determine which parachains will be added to the Kusama Relay chain, a canary network for Polkadot, detailing the need to get Kusama parachains up and running. Wood said Kusama exists as the Polkadot canary network, and therefore to help protect Polkadot from a serious issue by allowing functionality to exist in the wild for as long as possible, adding, since the amount of protection it gives is in some way proportional to the amount of time it is active prior to Polkadot, there is actually reason for deploying this logic as soon as possible for the good of Polkadot. So now that we've gotten through that bit of text, very, very exciting. So basically it could commence as early as next week, and the first auction could be live by 22nd at 11 a.m. From then on, an hour later, the second one will commence, and one will happen every week for about 5 weeks. Then they'll pause, reevaluate, what have we learned, what things have gone wrong, what's gone right, and then continue on forward. So this is very, very exciting. We're going to have a look at Kusama, the chart as well. It's looking all right, and also Polkadot's. For those that have been following me on my journey, covering Polkadot and Kusama, this is the biggest thing to happen, and we're finally going to start seeing whether it can actually compete with Ethereum, with the leader of the market when it comes to smart chain platform. and can it catch up to that network, to Ethereum? Because that's the big question that everyone wants to understand. And the majority of people, especially of course on the Ethereum camp, think there is no chance of that happening. There are just too many developers in that ecosystem, too many people building projects for any other project to ever catch up. But as the famous Justin Bieber says, never say never. So we'll see. We're going to find out. And then, of course, as time goes on, Cardano hopefully will join the party, but that's probably the furthest behind. So as I said, it's just going to be a bit of news. This is the most important thing that I had to cover. I was going to look at a few other articles, but to be honest, it's not worth the time. So let's just transition into the charts and then get to charting. So having a look at the total market cap firstly, we can see that there is a important support area around 1.3 to 1.4 trillion. That's been tested several times. So it is very important for the market to hold this level. As you can see, there's a low right here. If that does not hold in this test, so 1, 2, several tests of this area. If it doesn't hold, then potentially we could see massive loss further from right here all the way down. I highly doubt that it will happen, but that is a possibility if this area does not hold. So for the meantime, we're still in this area between 1.7 trillion and 1.3 1.4 trillion. It's about $300 billion consolidation region. As I said, not crazy, not too bad. We are still technically, if we zoom in, I'll show you, we're still technically in line to make a higher low. So you can see here, a low here, another one here. Technically, we're still in line to make a higher low, but of course, the week has not finished yet. So let's see how it goes. But for the daily anyway, this will be a higher low. Now looking at Bitcoin, so Bitcoin is actually just below a support area over here from 34 to about 34, 35. It's just below that, and it might make that support area become resistance, which is not a good thing. If it does, it might bounce down towards 30,000 once again, or even pierce just below it towards the upper 20,000 region. But so far, it's still above that 30,000 region, and it's still above 32,000. I think on the weekly, that is a support area. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so on the weekly, that is a support area. So 32,000. It needs to make sure to definitely stay above that. As if it goes below that, as you can see, there is not much in between apart from some wicks. So it definitely needs to stay above that for us to stay alive in the market. Very, very important. So for the moment, I am not too concerned, especially since that kind of wick support pushed it back up. If it starts to lose more value as it goes down, if it starts to go below 32, then alarm bells should start ringing. NANI? Same with Ethereum. Of course, it's lost some gains, but it's actually at a previous resistance level that's now turned support at 2,500. So if it can hold that, that'll be a very, very bullish indication, and could potentially reverse. If it does not hold that, then there's still quite a lot of levels for it to kind of bounce off. 2,400, there is 2,300, and then down to about 2,100. So there's quite a lot of levels for Ethereum to kind of reverse, to find some support. It's not in kind of danger just yet. Moving over to the weekly quickly. So you can see, especially this level of 2,100, that is the next major low, and it's unlikely it's going to go anywhere below that. So as I said, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, we've lost some gains, but it's not kind of code blue just yet. Now, looking at Polkadot, of course, it got rejected from a trend line that was formed in this move over here. So it's gotten rejected from this counter trend line, but there isn't anything to go by. There's no like lows or highs. The next major level is around $29-30, and it kind of got rejected kind of close to that level. The good thing is, I mean, it can continue to drop, but as long as it stays above this area, then it can form a nice higher low, which is a good thing in terms of making the reversal. So once it kind of makes a higher low and test that level again, it can build and make another move. So as I said, it's not as bad as it looks. So the support levels for this, and these are kind of daily targets, is $20, which it bounced from before. And then down below, we've got $17/18. And the upside target for this is definitely going to be that kind of wick, $25 to $26. So now, quick look at Kusama. So I did mention in the last few videos that Kusama was looking bullish. Reason being is because it was above the 21-day EMA, and that also confluenced with a good support area that it was at around 390. So even though it's dipped, it's recovered very well, and it's currently up 8% for the day, dipping all the way down to 342, and now it's at 408. So as I said, it's looking bullish. It could potentially continue if it stays above these two areas. Now there's a little counter trend line in play right here, so it would definitely need to get above that, get past this kind of resistance, and then it can potentially challenge back to 460 and up to 480. So two things we need to see. It needs to stay above this support area and stay above that 21-day EMA, and then break past the counter trend line. So three things. But Kusama's looking good, and especially with the Parachain auctions coming live very soon, that's another kind of catalyst to help push it forward. Now, the next coin that I want to look at is MATIC. What can I say about MATIC? I told a lot of people, or I covered it in a video a couple of times, MATIC was looking oversold.
You dare say that to me?
And it's dropped considerable value since the top down to the bottom, 45-50% almost, if you count all the way down to the wick. The only thing I would say is this kind of wick right here could potentially lead to the end of this correction. So that could be a bullish move right here, showing a lot of demand, a lot of people waiting in the wings to kind of buy up MATIC at these prices. So this could be the end of the correction and the start of the next move. It could be, or it could be, you know, just continuation. What I would say is kind of continuing with the 21-day EMA that I've been using. If it cannot get back above this, then I think it's going to keep going down towards the level that I've been mentioned quite a few times now, around $1.10, the $1.10 region. So it's very crucial that MATIC pushes above for it to actually finish the correction and start reversing. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very peak for MATIC. Last but not least, we'll cover Ocean Protocol, and
I wasn't kidding. You're in bad shape.
one of my favorite projects. However, it's looking very sad. It's looking very sad, I'll be honest, because what's happened is two things. One, it broke below this kind of trend line and got rejected from it. Second, is below the 21-day EMA, so this is very bearish. And then third is below a previous important level of 62 cents. So it's above a lot of things, pushing it down. Worst case scenario, I mean, it could re-enter it properly into this consolidation region where it was for a long time. So it could kind of go all the way down to 30 cents. That would be catastrophical, but it's possible. There are a lot of support areas here, kind of between these levels. As you can see, it found support there already from 50 cents to 75 cents. So there's still hope that it can stay in the upper range of this consolidation region, but you know, it's looking a bit peak. It needs to definitely find some liquidity, some fuel to push it up, maybe some positive news, but at the moment it's probably, I would say, one of the worst performers in the market. So not very good at all. So support is going to be at 50 cents. It needs to definitely hold that area, or as I said, it's going to plummet probably down to the 30-cent region, and that would be very peak. And now my light has finished. I think that's a sign I should end the video. That'll be it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.